Testing. 1, 2, 3, test, test. Testing. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for joining me. My name is Shaquab Ban Yisrael. Welcome to my channel. Jehovah, thank you for this opportunity to try to be a light, to share from your latest revelation. And I ask that I can be given wisdom, I can be given clarity of speech, I can speak plainly, that I can encourage my brothers and sisters who are also on this in the light, according to thy word. Jehovah, I just ask for my other brethren as well who raise their voices for the purpose of spreading the light. We're very few in number, and we need all the help that we can receive from our shars, from our guardians, our angels, Jehovah. I ask for an anointing on my video that brethren would be able to redeem the time while we're in this reality. Jehovah, thank you, praise you in your name, so let it be. All right, thank you for joining me. My name is Shaquab Ban Yisrael, and welcome to my channel where I try to share the latest revelation of the Creator. I got a lot to share, and I think the Creator is just giving me information overload to share with you, to bless you in your understanding, to help us to strengthen our faith in the Creator found in the OAHSPE. I think I found some stuff that you brethren are really going to like, man. So it's a lot. I'm gonna try. I'm not gonna get through all of it. I feel in my spirit I ain't gonna get through all of it, but I'm gonna try. It's just too much good stuff, man, that the Creator, I mean, it's just too much good stuff, man. I mean, I wish I could describe. If you dedicate yourself, if you fall in love with this light, even if you've been in this truth for, I don't know, I'm sure there have been brethren in for a lot of a long time, man, you know. And I know there can probably be a tendency to slow down. I hope that don't happen to you, man. I just think that the more you put into trying to learn and grow, the more you get out of it. And I just can't say enough about the things that the Creator will show you if you're willing. Anyway, on the screen here, I have the website, Universal Faith of Cosmin. You can go there for ministry and information. I'm trying to move kind of fast here because I ain't going to get everything in that I want to. Here's the ministries of the website. They have a meditation, a healing basket, And the Bible study is every first, second, and third Wednesday. Bible study where we just get in there, man. We just talk our own language. We can't find it on the TV. We can't find it on the internet, really. We can't find it in our community. We can only really find it online right now. People who speak our language, we don't have people who speak our language, man, other than channels like this and other brethren, other faithists who the Creator has given us to fight an uphill battle. But we fighting it though. We fighting it. We know we're gonna win. We know one thing about this message of this channel and all faithists brethren. One thing that I know is true in my heart is this is the only hope for mankind. This is the only hope for mankind without a shadow of a doubt. This message is a message of hope, man. It is a message of hope for your behind. We look around, we see the fruit of religion. It hasn't worked. It taught us morality. That's what it was supposed to do, the Creator, in the process of maturing us, growing us up. You know how a parent, you got to really give respect to a parent, man. I mean, for real. You got to really give respect to parents, man. Even parents who are maybe not great parents, man, the patience that it takes to go to raise a child, from infancy to adulthood, the patience that it takes. Just that alone, man. I mean, it gets my respect. It truly get my respect. It truly get my respect, man, and what they must go through. What they must go through to raise children. The Creator, He's raising us. And for thousands of years now, He's watched us grow up from being created where we were no different than an animal on the ground to where we are right now. We gotten a little too smart for our britches. We got all this technology. We think we were like this all the way along. We're real smart. We pride ourselves in being, and we've forgotten that we were once unable to even clean ourselves. That's how, when you look at, I don't want to sound harsh, man. The Creator's purpose is to raise us up. He's got us to a point now where He's teaching us that we have to overcome ourselves and the desire to serve ourselves and the desire to only live on a lower vibration level, only live on a level where all you know is you live according to your senses, survival. What am I going to do to please myself? What am I going to do? How am I going to entertain myself? What am I going to do to make me feel better? What am I going to do? Me, 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 me. And that's what our society has taught us. And the message, that's why the message of the OAHSPE, it is strange. It's incredibly strange where the Creator says, put that down. Think about how you can serve your brother, be a benefit, redeem the time, because that's my kingdom. That's my kingdom. And the Creator, He don't really apologize for the way it is. That's the way it is, man. You serve other people. Matter of fact, the Ethereans, matter of fact, that reminds me right there. That reminds me, I better bring it up right now because I want to show y'all something. That reminds me, a brother, bless my soul, man. I was feeling down. At some points, man, I get the blues, man. I did used to suffer from depression. I used to suffer from that a few years ago where I would just go, this really happened. I would go to work. And I would come home, I'd go straight to bed. And at that time, I was a Christian. I'm trying to look for that thing I want to show y'all. I was a Christian. And I used to go to work, man. And I remember on the weekends, I would just get a big bottle of wine, and then I would come home from work, and I would either jump right in bed and go to sleep on Friday and not wake up until Monday morning, or just sit there, drink, and watch movies, and I would not go outside because there was nothing for me. It seemed like the world wasn't filled with any hope, you know? I guess you can get to become too familiar with something, you know? In other words, that spiritual hole in my heart wasn't filled. I didn't know how to fill it. You know, I didn't know why I couldn't find, like, any satisfaction of no desire, no, I didn't really care to try to be a rich man, to try to make it, and $1 million. I just didn't have no desire, man, because I had no answers. I was in a real state of depression. And so even nowadays, the creator, he teaches you the type of spirit that people are under. Now, see, I'm looking for something that I came across. And then you get the blues when you see how far away people are from the OAHSPE. How far away people are from the OAHSPE. Now, let me go ahead and share this. I'm looking for something, man. I really want to find this so I could just bear with me. I'm still looking for it. And the brother, I was feeling low, man. And the brother, he posted something on Facebook, man. And I really appreciate it. And I want to share it with y'all because this is the reality of a faithist. Faithist is what this channel is all about. That's what the OAHSPE calls us. He calls us faithists. Now, I'm having trouble trying to find that guy's post. I'm having trouble trying to find it, man. I'm sitting up here looking for it. He posted a picture, man, of an illustration of our reality. He posted a picture of an illustration of our reality. He showed it in pictures, and it'll bless your soul. Faithist will know what this is all about. If I could ever find it, I wouldn't be surprised if it was wiped off my computer. I wouldn't be surprised. There's been some weird things happening lately with this computer, man. I go to look for something, it's gone. I want to know where, so I'm at the point now, I ain't even surprised no more. And I'm looking for this one picture, and I can't. Now, all of a sudden, I can't find it. Yep. All of a sudden, it never fails. It's vanished. That one thing that I wanted to show y'all. So another brother, he posted something that's kind of similar, but it's not what I wanted to. Here it is right here. It's kind of the other one that a matter of fact, this is the same brother. Matter of fact, so he might have it on his page. Let me see if I. What he posted. And it just blessed my soul, man. Bring it up. It's taking its time. Maybe people are getting off work and clogging up the internet. It's a picture that has something to do with something like this. I can't find it. Here, he's evidently this is not it, but he's into posting like pictures that show you our reality according to the OAHSPE, But he posted one that was really good, man. He posted one that was really good, and I can't find it. I'm looking on his page, and I can't find it. Is that it? Nope, that's not it either. He's got some good things here. Nope, that's not it. Although he's got some good stuff here. Look what he's got here. He shows you in pictures and, the OAHSPE illustrations, OAHSPE truth, really. And there was one that he put up, though, man, that was really, and wouldn't you know, oh, there it is right there. There it is. That blessed my soul. Man, I was down in the dumps. And then I came on and I seen that. And man, that blessed my soul. Look at this right here. if I can ever get it right on the screen. I hope you can see that. I'm not in the chat, so I hope you can see that. Look at that. Look at what the brother's got here. Can you see that okay? I'm not looking at the chat. I hope you can see that, man. Look at that. He's got, this is our reality. This is what it's all about. This is the OAHSPE in a nutshell right here. Look at that. We start off on the earth on the bottom there. See grade 1. I'm going to talk a little bit about this on the video today. The orachnebuahgalah, or however you pronounce that. Orachnebuahgalah, whatever the title of the video is. I'm going to talk about this type of stuff right here. I'm also do a little part 2 on why we are who we are. The Creator showed me something else. So I'm not going to get to all of it. I didn't even read the Faith is Creed that I usually read. I'll get to that too. I'm going to try to. Look at this picture here. This is us. This is our reality right here. This is what it's all about right here. This is what it's all about. Our reality in a nutshell. I want to show. This is all these messages, any message that is done on this channel, this is what it's all about. I can't move the picture. I want to move it up and down and show you the full picture. It's not letting me do it. I hope you can see that, man. This is what it's all about. We're down here. We're on the earth. I hope you can see my cursor. I don't know if you can see my cursor. Let me go to the chat real quick so I can let me see how you can see it. Okay, I can't move it. I don't know how the resolution is, it could be better. But that's what it's all about right there. Now, I'm looking back at the picture. And faith this is what we know this. The Creator is showing this. This is what it's all about. See, we here on grade 1 at the bottom, grade 1. Grade 1. And then we go into the first resurrection. That's when we leave the body. We go into the first resurrection. And depending on what grade we are is where we land in the spiritual. We begin our resurrection from whatever grade we are. Then you got grade 25, meaning these are people who serve themselves 3/4 of the time, and they serve other people 1/4 of the time, if at that. There are some people who go to hell where they just 100% serve themselves, and they wind up in hellish conditions of their own choosing. If you can believe that, people choose to go to hell. Choose to go to hell, man. I even read in the OAHSPE, some people prefer to go there. Can you believe that? Some people prefer to go there, to be in that situation. I shouldn't say that without showing you, but take my word for it, man. I wouldn't say something like that unless I could prove it. So you got grade 25 here. These are people who they serve themselves 3/4 of the time and serve other people 1/4 of the time. Then you got the grades go up. Grade 50, people serve themselves half the time. People serve others half the time. Then you got grade 75. Then you got grade 75, and then you got etheria. Then you got the brides and bridegrooms, and there's even the glory of the Creator is even higher than what you see at the screen here. There's like what Nirvana and Oetians and other things that the OAHSPE mentioned we don't really talk that much about. This is our future. This is what it's all about right here. This is what it's all about right here, man. This is our progression. See that? That's what everything that this channel is about. It focuses on this map right here. Anyway, this brother here, he's got a good little ministry going. This brother here, check this dude out on Facebook, man. Check him out, whoever he is. He's got some good stuff here. There he is right there. Look at his stuff. that he's showing you. You can learn, some people learn more from pictures. Look at what this brother's doing, man. I didn't plan on featuring this brother. Look at that. This is a WASPE truth right here, showing you what it's all about in hopes that brethren will begin their resurrection while they're on the face of the earth, showing you atmosphere. This is our whole reality right here. Look at that. You probably can't read it. See? Same principle over and over again. See, look at that. Look at where we are on the earth. The earth. Remember that study we did the other day I was telling you about last week that the doctor did, Brother Kendall, last Wednesday? He cut this is what he kind of talked about a little bit. See the earth? You see the earth? And then we go into our spirit. That's the first resurrection. Then we go in the second, and then the third, and then etheria, and then, look at that. The 7 spheres, the many abiding places around the earth, the layered heaven. That's what this is all about. See? But it's hard for people who are not prepared to receive this. You got to be chosen. You got to be elected, man, to come into the light while you're on the earth. You have to be elected. So let me get to let me get back to the program here. You have to be elected, man. That's coming from the Creator. Now, here are the ministries right here. The Wednesday study, first, second, third. We come in, have Bible talk, speak our own language. Healing basket, Saturday meditation. And then we have a creed we go by, explains who we are, faithists. What is a faithist? We have faith in the all-person and collective wisdom as without gender. As faithists, we live by and follow these guidelines inspired by the OAHSPE Bible and the work of John Newbro. We understand that supremacy exists, we understand that supremacy exists only in a weak, fearful mind. We strive to do good works in the Creator's name. We respect others' opinions with understanding and openness as long as their opinions do not diminish the dignity or free will of anyone. We're willing to accept differences from others with no bias. We treat others and ourselves with love and forgiveness. We are kind to our actions and whole being. We give others freedom, that freedom we all deserve. It is easy to demand free will, but it is challenging to allow others to exercise their free will. We're able to admit our mistakes and take responsibility for our actions. With these guidelines in mind, it is easier to understand that the foundation of faithism is the study and pursuit of Amarath and Ahiba. Amarath is divine giveness, Ahiba is unconditional love. For faithists, the cultivation of Amarath and Ahiba are essential lessons for the path of soul growth. Many faithists adhere to a vegetarian and vegan diet to reduce suffering, but being vegan or vegetarian does not give anyone supremacy. All right. So here's the OAHSPE right here. If anybody, these brethren, they'll give it to you for free. These brethren will give it to you for free. You send them an email, they'll send it to you for free. The OAHSPE. And then the Unknown Many have put out a 6-volume set where it's broken down to grab your, it's on a, it's done to for people with short attention spans. Short attention spans. It's something the Unknown Many have put out. I'll give you an idea of what it looks like on the inside. This is what it looks like on the inside. It's subject matter and then it's verse. Subject matter and verse. Subject matter and verse. Subject matter and verse in hopes of sparking your interest in the OAHSPE. So you got the 6-volume set here, and you're a little short on funds. Do you know that you can contact me, and I'll send it to you for free, 6-volume set, which leads me to another idea. Brethren, we on the earth, and that means for faithists, if you one of the things when you read the OAHSPE, you cannot go wrong trying to figure out ways to spread the light, man. You cannot go wrong. Do you know that I recently found out about there's a way you could send books to prison? You know, there's a way that you could send books to prison. And wouldn't you know, that's one of the files that got clean wiped out that I lost. So I have to get that information again. But I think they got like all kinds of programs where you can send books to prison, called Books to Prison, or they got different names. I mean, if you want to, and you can do it incognito, nobody has to know anything. You see? See, when when you when you think about it, man, you know, that brings to mind a verse I want to share with you. You remember the one in the Bible where it says the man he went and took his gifts and hid it in the earth? Do y'all remember that verse? That's a pretty good picture of the world, man, when you think about it. The breakdown of the world. Matthew 2:11. You remember that verse? It's a pretty good picture of the world, man. And it's a shame. Matthew 2:11, it says when they were coming to the house, matter of fact, nope, this is not the one I'm looking for. You remember the parable? I'm looking for the parable. Let me find that parable. But he came and buried his gift in the earth and told the master, there that is thine. King James Version. Okay, it's in Matthew 25. When you sit down and think about it, the Bible, the Creator, he's bringing it to life. The Creator is bringing the Bible to life, man, with the opening of the OAHSPE. I think it's just the most incredible thing I've ever seen in my life. The parable of the servant. And you know what? This is a picture of life right here in a nutshell. Check this out. You remember, everybody knows this parable. This is a picture of life. Look at this. All of this, I can get it. Now, see, I ain't never going to get to the study, man. I ain't never going to get to it. Because I'm going off. The parable of the talents, this is life. This is a picture of life. And, you know, I was talking to my brother, man, you know. And he was telling me about somebody. And basically, it reminded me of this parable right here, man. It reminded me of this. A talented cousin that we have, you know, he's got gifts, man, you know. He's got personality gifts. He's got magnetism, you know, my brother was telling me. And he basically just took his gift and just buried it in the earth. Buried, that's what this is all about. For the kingdom of heaven is as a man traveling into a far country. You could say that's the Creator. You could speculate that's the Creator. See, the OAHSPE, it reframes the Bible so you can understand it. For the kingdom of heaven, where the kingdom of heaven is as the Creator traveling into a far country, that's the earth, and he calls his own servants and delivered unto them his goods, the OAHSPE, the latest revelation, the only hope for mankind. And he gave to each one of them 5 talents. He gave us gifts, the ability to prosper in the light, 5 talents. To another, he gave 2. To another, 1. Some he gave to 5. Some he gave 2 talents. Some he gave another one. To every man according to his several ability, and straightway took his journey. Then he that had received 5 talents went and traded with the same. But he put it to use. He took stock of himself. He considered what he could do well, his strengths and his weaknesses, and he put them daggone things to work for the light, to spread it, to prosper, increase his grade while he was on the earth. He went and got busy with it, you know, and he made 5 other talents, you know. That's Nazarene Essene Faithus. He went He took his index cards, he spread them out, and 5 other people picked it up. They didn't know who dropped them, but the creator knew. See? And Mahalia, she crossed my mind this weekend. I think about you, brother. You know that? I think about every people coming to my mind. And I was thinking about Mahalia crossed my mind. I don't know if she's in the chat, but she usually comes in. And something she said, man. When I was just learning about the OAHSPE, she said, I was talking about something I learned about how the creator, he called you away from vainglory and trying to seek be all famous and everything. And she got on the chat one day. She said, I don't care about any of that stuff. I don't care about none of that. Trying to be a goddess, trying to be number one, It was enough for her to know the light, And that was 100%, man. That's what the creator does. And then you're going to naturally bear fruit. It's good enough, man, just to know the light. Just to know. It's good enough, man. You've been looking for this all your life, man. And now it takes you away from chasing the world. You can now go about in peace, man, and peace of heart and mind, peace of mind, body, and soul. And likewise, he that received 2, he gained also another 2. But he that received 1, that's my cousin at this time. He that received 1 talent, he went and digged in the earth and he hid his Lord's money. He didn't put it to use. He didn't put it to use for the light. And the gifts that he had, he used to serve only himself. He digged it in the earth. See, the body is earth. If you want to get literal about it, we made of the earth, the elements of the earth, the body. He that received 1, he went and digged in the earth and he hid his Lord's money. Meaning you could say he used his gifts for his own, and he couldn't prosper, didn't prosper. He used it for his own interests, his own self-interest, his own profit. He didn't use it to trade. We're supposed to trade with the light, share it with other people, invest in other people, invest in them, hoping and praying that they can receive it. Because the creator, he showed us that the world is naked. He showed us the world is naked, man. The world is naked. What do I mean by naked? Matter of fact, I did a study on that. I ain't never going to make it. I'm never going to make it. I'm never going to make the studies. I'm never going to do it. After a long time, the Lord of those servants cometh, and he reckoneth with them. Now you go into the first resurrection. You go into life after death, man. And the creator is not harsh like this. He's not harsh like this. That's one issue with the Bible. The Bible, the flavor it puts on the truth. The flavor that it puts on it, the OAHSPE don't do the same thing. The principle is the same. Here, he goes into the afterlife, and a long time, and after a long time, the Lord of those servants, that's us, the faithists. After a long time, the Lord of those servants, not the faithists, but we go into our spirit. And the servants cometh and reckoneth with them. So he that had 5 talents came and brought 5 talents, saying, Lord, thou deliverest unto me. Okay, so you know the story, so I'll, let me get down to the brother that buried his gift in the earth. Then he which had received 1 talent came and said, Lord, I knew thee that thou art a hard man, reaping where thou hast not sown, and gathering where thou hast not strawed. And I was afraid, and went and hid thy talent in the earth. Lo, there has that is thine. His Lord answered and said unto him, Thou wicked and slothful servant, thou knewest that I reap where I sow not. Now this sounds like a false god to me. So you could even speculate, here's a brother who didn't make the resurrection. He didn't make the resurrection, man, you know? And I ain't trying to sound harsh. I really ain't, man. He sounds like he went to his Lord who demands worship. He demands profit. Creator don't do that. It says his Lord answered him, thou wicked and slothful servant. The Creator would. He'll never say that about a faithless man. Thou wicked and slothful servant. A false God will cuss you out. Thou wicked and slothful servant. Thou knewest I reap where I sowed not, and gathered where I have not strawed. Thou oughtest therefore to have put my money into the exchangers, and then at my coming I should have received my own with usury. Take therefore the talent from him, and give it to him which had 10 talents. It sounds like a false God to me. For everyone that hath shall be given, and he shall have an abundance. Now, this principle is actually true according to the OAHSPE. Here's a faithful principle. This is a faithful principle right here, according to the OAHSPE. You get as much out of it as you put into it. For unto everyone that hath shall be given, and he shall have an abundance. But for him that hath not shall be taken away that which he hath. And cast ye the unprofitable servant in the outer darkness, there shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Now, I'll spare you, what that sounds like. Although when you read the OAHSPE, the Creator, he don't hold back, man. If you want to go to the lower heavens, you will go. The Creator is not begging anybody to come into the light. He don't beg you. He just simply give you enough information to make your own decision. So enough of that. I'm way late. Let's go to the study that I had set up. If you bear with me while I change screens here. Let's see. How do you do this? I keep forgetting this. The study, orachnebuahgalah prophecy tables. Okay. I really think you're going to get a kick out of this. So let's bring it up. Bear with me. I'm bringing it up on the screen. There's a lot of good stuff here, man. There's a lot of good stuff here. Even after all this time, I still have to struggle to remember what to do with this software. Okay, I got it. I think I got it. Okay, let me see. Is this it? All right, yeah, we got it. All right, let's get busy. This is the name of the video is called orachnebuahgalah prophecy tables. Orachnebuahgalah prophecy tables. Orachnebuahgalah prophecy tables. Orachnebuahgalah, sometimes styled as one word, is a prophetic tool and charting method described in OAHSPE's book Cosmogony and Prophecy, especially chapter 7. It serves as a visual and mathematical tablet for mapping cycles of light and darkness, spiritual influences, wars, advancements, and human behavior over 3,000-year arcs, Danha cycles. The name roughly translates or is interpreted as relating to oracle, nebula, Earth, and galaxy, or a prophetic schedule revealing God's timing. The purpose and concept. OAHSPE teaches that the solar system, the great serpent, travels through Ethereal roadways. So right now we traveling through worlds we cannot see, and they have an influence on mortals. We traveling through invisible worlds, and they do have influences on us. OAHSPE teaches that the solar system, the great serpent, travels through Ethereal roadways, encountering varying protection conditions. Encountering varying vortexian conditions. See, we traveling. We sitting up here on the earth, right? Look at that. We traveling. And we going through invisible Ethereal worlds, and they affecting our behavior. And depending on how we what's that word? Process the information will manifest in the actions that we do while we're on the earth. Does that make sense? Forces influence our behavior. Either AG or a Dan, meaning a time of high light, or a Gia, meaning a time of epic pandemics and that sort of thing. It says these subtle forces influence, look at that, these subtle forces, vortexing conditions. These subtle forces influence nations, virtue, war, inspiration, decline, and rhythmic patterns. Orachnebuahgalah is a graphic timeline, a curved line representing the solar system's path that lets a student prophet record and analyze past history, identify repeating cycles, foretell future tendencies, not exact events, but inclinations. So basically, take the time we live in right now. It's a bit of a struggle going on. The Creator seems to, geopolitical. I talk geopolitically about what's going on in the earth and how I talk about it because it's going to affect us externally. What the Uzians do in the earth is going to have an effect on faith. That's why we here on the earth. Their actions affect us. The Creator has left them in power for the time being, so for the running of the earth until the kingdom come. Uzians are in charge. So, but Faithist, he lets us know, get some sort of inclination about where we're moving towards the kingdom, whether you like it or not. We are moving towards the kingdom. We're looking at the Uzian government, the Uzian world, and you know what we're basically seeing? How they can't make it. They cannot make it, man. They can't. You give them resources, they take it and profit off of it. They make you pay an arm and a leg in order to have access to what is freely given from the Creator. And some people have to do without. But right now we witnessing, that's why the Creator, the cosmic era, the Creator is bringing an end to that. We see what's going on with the nations dividing, led by the United States and Israel primarily, causing division in the world, causing since we in the cosmic era, the transition, helping to speed. They're really, in my best understanding, are really helping to speed up with the actions that Israel and the United States are doing in the earth, going, bombing, killing other people, grasping, possessing, trying to grab things. Creator said that's one of the signs of an earth transitioning from one age to another. The orachnebuahgalah prophecy tablet is not a rigid calculator, but a framework requiring spiritual discernment, suis and eth senses, historical knowledge, and alignment with Jehovah. True prophecy demands personal purity in the first 4 degrees of faith is practiced. So it's serious business, man, to be able to, remember we talked about the 5 degrees of a newbie? Man, that's some serious. You know what the Creator do when you want to come into this, the Creator, he make you battle the flesh. He make you battle. He make you have to do business with the flesh, man. Your purity. We have to do. That's why now for Faithus, our time on the earth, so we can do battle with the flesh, man, with the Druidian influences that come on us, that attack us. The reason why those things happen is so that we could learn to develop an immunity from them, learn to develop an immunity from love of self to worshiping the senses. Man, it's tough. The 5 degrees of a newbie, we talked about it. You see how the Creator, he knows the earth can't legislate the human heart. The earth cannot do it. I don't care what great arguments you make. See, that's why the leaders we elect, they always, especially now, the Creator, he said it. He said our leaders were going to be rogues, people accepting high office. People accepting high office. That's why I see elections, people, they try to gauge somebody's character. They try to assess somebody's dignity, their character. And hell, so it's easy to deceive people. People are easily deceived, man. You know, if you present a clean image, you wear a suit and a tie, it's pressed, it's got creases in it, shiny shoes, and just get up there and start talking populist talk, I don't like it the way people don't have living wage. I can't stand the cost of living. I'm bringing that down, I'm getting rid of special interest groups and lobbying firms and who get in there and pay us millions to vote their way. And I'm getting sick and tired of it, man. And he'll go right in the office and then he'll become one himself. And it never fails. And the Creator said it was going to get worse and worse. That's going from the 1800s till now. So that's why you got someone like President Trump, who's presently under Druidian influences. He's under some serious Druidian influences. That's the only way he could do something, do the things he's doing, the way he worships himself. Faithus know why he's acting like that. He's going to come out of it. He's going to have to repair everything he's done too, though. He don't know that. All leaders going back through history, they have to repair what they have done, man. It's a terrible thing, man. You wouldn't wish it on a dog. That's how powerful the earth is, the pull of the earth. The orachnebuahgalah prophecy tablets show you how to construct and read one. You draw a curved line representing the great serpent's travel over 3,000 years, cut it across in 8 places, or so to mark periods of light, periods of day. Shade sections, black, dark for war or decline, and lighter for virtue or peace. Use numerical grades, overall cycle length, intensity of each characteristic, spirituality, war. So you could make a line, big curved line, and then let's say, okay, we had World War I, 1918, and then we draw a line and we darken it. And then we move that line to the end of World War I, 1925, I think, or somewhere around there. So we make the other line and then we shade it dark, right? And then a relative time of peace. And then World War II, 1933, 34, okay? We make another line. And between those 2 wars, it's a little lighter. You make a line, you make lines. And then you go Second World War, 1933, 1934, somewhere around then. And then you stretch a line to, you make another line on the curved serpent, say, okay, I'm going to call this 1945. So you shade the 2 lines in, and then you do that for history, and it gives you a little idea of how the serpent, the travels of the earth and the planets, it gives us a little idea of what we can expect going forward. You see what I mean? I hope I'm explaining that. If the earth is heavy and wanting to know what's ahead of us, what's going on, what's going to happen. The earth is really heavy into that. The only problem is that there's a lot of voices in the world, man, telling people what they want to hear. Disaster talk of doom is real popular on the internet. People love, they call it doom scrolling. Doom scrolling. Like it when other people having it hard. Like to hear about it. We lost our house, 3 million views. The earth, the Uzian kingdom, they like that stuff. I don't now, okay, maybe I should say like, but what's a good word for it? It attracts, people, controversy. People like that stuff. So you take the arachnebuahgalah tablet, and then you use the scale of key numbers and symbols like 11. These are like progressions. 11, 33, 66, 99, 200. Now, spiritual grades only go up to 100, but Vortexian grades go higher. See, it says these relate to Vortexian grades. The numbers themselves are not magic. The grades are not magic in the numbers themselves. In other words, according to OAHSPE, primarily in the book of Cosmology and Prophecy, chapter 8, Vortexian influences refer to subtle cosmic forces, vortexia, carried by the Earth's vortex and its surrounding currents. So that's the X factor right there. That right there is the X factor, the unexplainable X factor, meaning it influences us. It's only described as subtle cosmic forces. People want to break down. See, the most easiest analogy I can make is to how mortals are influenced. It's like, say, if it's cold outside, you want to go inside. The cold influences you to do something, to seek warmth. You know what I mean? Vortexian influences work that way. They work that way spiritually. The only thing is that you got Druidian influences, lower level people who have passed on and did not make the resurrection, who are able to influence. Now, I don't know how Druidian influences harmonize with Vortexian influences. I can't I can't explain it very well, but I know that influences play a part in human behavior. We looking at Vortexian influences and how they influence us. Subtle cosmic forces, vortexia, carried by the Earth's vortex, its spinning motion, and its surrounding currents. These forces, E, which is purified atmospheric light, and Gia, which is denser atmospheric vortexia, I'll say, profoundly affect nations, peoples, and individuals. But so, like right now, here we are. We got war going on in the Middle East, and we know that we're going through a dense part of the solar phalanx. We know it because we got people, we got war. Russia and Ukraine have been going on since 2022. We're in a period of aging. We're in a period of darkness and war. United States, Israel, and Iran. We have Gaza. We have Lebanon. Darkness, war, Gia, AG in the world. See, you can have, from my best understanding, At the time, Gia and Ag, it has differing effects on people, from what I understand. At the time of Gia, a Faithist, their spiritual grade increases. For a Uzian or a low grade, someone operating on a low vibration, it makes them worse. Gia and Ag. So my best understanding is a Dan, correct me if I'm wrong, we're in a time of it, from what I understand, a Dan Ha period, the beginning of Cosmin. But within that period, there are regions of Ag and Gia influences, and it has differing effects on people according to their spiritual grade. Gia, Ag, E profoundly affect nations, peoples, and individuals, but their manifestation depends entirely on the spiritual grade of the people exposed to them. Say you're over grade 66, then you're going to produce this type of action. If you're, oh, matter of fact, good, they go into it. I forgot about that. I'll need to. So it says, Vortexian currents do not act uniformly. See, that's the point I was trying to make. They don't act uniformly. It affects people differently. Vortexian currents. See, the orachnebuahgalah tablets, they show us how Vortexian currents, how you can chart them in our reality, how you can make a little chart. Vortexian currents do not act the same uniformly. They interact with people existing grade, their level of resurrection, their spiritual development. And it increases their tendencies toward light or darkness. The key grading scale tied to Vortexian currents, OAHSPE uses, or I didn't read that right. It says the key grading scale, which is tied to Vortexian currents, OAHSPE uses a numerical scale centered on 33 and 66. Man and beast are higher and lower nature. If you're below 33 spiritual grade and often down to 22, these people are low grade, beast dominated people. They tend to lower grade vibration. They're more for self. These are people who they lack self-awareness. They don't know how they affect other people. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know if, when they're being obnoxious, that they are being obnoxious. They don't care, or they just don't know. There are like 3 levels of narcissism in the world. Either you know and you don't care, or you don't know, or you know and you don't care. How you are coming across to people. The kingdom, it's all about how you vibrate with people, how you resonate with people. If you hard to get along with on the earth, you're going to be hard to get along with in the spiritual. And you will be populated with people who are also hard to get along with. That's the way the Creator does business. If that's your desire, man, to hold on to worshiping yourself, to where all you know is yourself, what you feel, what you think, what happened to you. And, if that's all you know, you will go. The Creator has a place for you because that's what you desire. And then there you are in the spiritual, you're trying to talk to somebody. They don't give a good blip about what you got to say. They busy talking about what they want to say. And then at some point you get tired. How come I can't talk to nobody? How come nobody listens to me? How come nobody cares? Because that's the way you are. That's the way you are. And the Creator gives you to yourself. Now you got to learn to be sensitive to how you come across and before how you deal with people. And you're going to learn, man, either on the earth or in the spiritual. Now, what do you prefer? Do you prefer to be around people who really sincerely, they sincerely, man, resonate with you? They're not prone to, what's that word? There's a word for hidden agendas, people who resonate, who are brotherly towards one another for real, man. Under agey, meaning darker vortexian influence, 33 motion, war, destruction, death, lust, violence dominate. These unseen forces, they influence us. Unseen forces they influence the choices that you make. Under Dan, meaning higher light, high motion, purified light, people below 33 become magicians, false prophets without virtue. Then it's like they take advantage of the vortexian influence to resonate with darker forces in a spiritual sense. They become magicians, false prophets without virtue. They operate on a intellectual level, a spiritual type level, but it's not progression. It's more, a self-serving endeavor for a lot of people to, magicians, you want to bring attention to yourself. You want people to wonder at what you could do. You false prophets without virtue. It's still the selfish nature coming through in this form when you're below a certain grade, when AG and Gia is falling during a Danha period. Under AG, intellectual awakening mixed with war, oratory, music genius, but still turbulent. So the important thing to remember, the spiritual grade of people, and this is the effect it's going to have on them. If they're a spiritual grade, they're above 33, but not above 66. They're spiritual grade. They can have an intellectual awakening, but they still, just think of people in power. You got a lot of smart, intellectual people in power, but they still subscribe to war. They may be great speakers, oratory. They may create great music. And then you come to find out that they worship Satan, Matter of fact, that reminds me, did y'all ever hear that song the Beatles made? Did y'all ever hear it? What was the name of it? They made a song. I want to, matter of fact, they made a song, and do you know they played that song backwards? You know what that song, do you know what it was saying? Hail Satan. Do y'all remember that? Hold on a sec. I'm going on the internet. What is the name of the song that the Beatles made that when played backwards says Hail Satan? Now, why did they? I'm on the internet right now. I'm not on looking at the study. It's called backmasking. Backmasking. When they play a record backwards. Oh, okay. Was it Led Zeppelin? Was it Led Zeppelin? It said the specific lyric that allegedly contained the phrase "Hail Satan" when played in reverse actually belongs to this iconic 1971 Led Zeppelin song. Not a Beatles track. Many evangelical and religious groups in the 80s claimed that flipping the record backwards in the fifth verse revealed the phrase, "Here's to my sweet Satan." Okay, well, you can go online. I remember I did this one time. There's a video where they play records in reverse. And I do remember hearing one record where they played it in reverse, and it did say that. I thought it was a Beatles song, but I'm not surprised, man. You know what I mean? This type of stuff, it don't surprise you, but it show you how people who are acknowledged geniuses, how they can under agey the influence, they can take their gift. You know what I mean? They can be gifted in their intellect, but they can take things and what's a good word for corrupted? Music, everybody loves music, you know? But it's like people get the idea, they're gonna twist it. You know, it's like you take something that's meant to be good. You know, you could be influenced by music that is, of course, you know this already. Cause I'm saying this because I did it one time. And you know what? Matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you a true story. This actually happened. Now that I think about it, this is a true story. This is a true story, man. When I was my first record if my brother's listening, he's gonna laugh. The first record I ever bought was something, it was called Bohemian Rhapsody, right? By Queen. Y'all remember them? Queen? Queen. Bohemian Rhapsody. You know, it was a smash hit, Bohemian Rhapsody. Y'all remember that song? Do you know there's a phrase in the song? You know what I mean? And I was singing that all the time. And one time I was moving from Wichita to California, right? And I was on the road and they played it. And do you know the Spirit said, even when I wasn't a faithist, I was not a faithist. I was a Hebrew Israelite at this time. And even then, I was driving and the song came on and I was out in the middle of nowhere on the highway. And my spirit said, man, don't start singing that song, man. Don't start singing it. And I started singing it and I got a flat tire. I got a flat tire, man. They played right when they started playing it, and I could hear my spirit saying, "Man, don't do it, don't do it, man. You know, don't do it." And I started singing it, and I got a flat tire, man. So you got a disabled brother, you know, out in the middle of nowhere, and that tow truck came out, and he charged me $300, man, to change that. See, influence. You start singing it, man. You know. Now I knew better. I did it anyway. What happened? I got a flat tire. You know, music that's meant to bless your soul. It can also turn around and put a vexing on you. You know, underagey. When you go through a dense period, the way it affects different people, whether they will take their gift for righteousness or for unrighteousness. Some people can be genius, but still turbulent. Under a Dan, Self-opinionated, under Dan, a time of light. Mid-grade, 33 to 66, under a Dan, under a time of light. We're in a Dan right now, a time of high light. AG is like a period of time. You pass through it. A Dan is like more longer. The Creator, he lets light come down, or he let us pass through. A Dan Ha is a time of light. A Dan Ha is a high time. A Dan is like a 3,000 year. If I'm not mistaken. People can become self-opinionated, licentious behavior for self-sake, malefactors who twist light into ego. I forget what that word malefactors mean. People who are above 66, higher grade, more spiritual people, closer to the faithless idea. When they come under a time of AG, they manifest, meaning, see, to in other words, explain this, it's like people who are well known for serving other people. If you are grade 66, that means 3/4 of the time you're serving other people. You're involved in behavior for other people, serving other people. Above 66, those are higher grade, more spiritual people. They're closer to the faithless idea. It don't mean they're a faithless, but you got people in the world who they are part of volunteer organizations. They are part of, where it requires selflessness, high grade people. The problem is that if they're under a deity, you see what I mean? When they come into a time of AG or under a time of AG, the effect it can have on them, they produce many lords, God, Savior, superstitions, rites, and you can even say the same is true for the when we left the Ark of Bond and Speda, Ark of Speda, the church, the raising of the church age, spirituality, cosmic era, Dan Ha, time of light. What did it do? It manifested many lords, the Dan Ha. But under AG, when it becomes like a dense region we're going through, then you get many lords, gods, saviors, superstition. People, it's like you take advantage of spirituality for the self-serving purposes. Self-serving purposes. And if it's a high grade person, they will have talents to accomplish, what's a good word for deceiving, deception. High grade, more spiritual people, closer to the faithless idea in the sense that they serve others, but they come into a dense region and they turn to manifest many lords, gods, say, instead of the Creator only. Rites, ceremonies, often tied to sexualism or idolatry. You have like secret societies that they love to make an issue. You got to do something sexual, man. These secret societies, it's always got to do something with take your clothes off, man. These rites, these ceremonies, above 66 under a Dan, let's say absence of AG. We're going through regions where AG is not falling under a Dan, just the regular arc cycle. True prophets who abnegate, who do not serve self. True prophets who abnegate self, that means that they turn from serving themselves to try to serve other people for righteousness. Genuine inspiration and light. That's what's happening to faithists. Somehow they are taking off their clothing meaning their religious, spiritual covering. They're taking it off. Remember in the book of Thomas, the Jesus of the New Testament said that time was going to come when the world was going to come to a faithist and say, "Give us back our garments." And faiths are going to take them off and lay them on the ground. That's what's going on right now. But they picking up the light and they covering themselves. The light is covering. I'm going to get more into that. I did a study on that too. You're going to love it. Okay, the core principle is according to the grade of a people. According to your grade of the people, so will they receive as vortexian light. The same current that brings genius and progress to one group, it brings chaos and lust to another. That's the important thing, according to a spiritual grade of a people. Whatever their spiritual grade is, if it's a high grade, they're going to be trending to things that benefit other people. If they trend lower in their actions and their thinking and their spirituality, then they're going to be more trending to serve themselves. Vortexian influences act like a catalyst or an amplifier. It'll either get you started or it will increase where you're already at, one way or the other. Vortexian influences act like a catalyst, will get you started or will, from the grade you're at, either raise you or lower you. The prophet must always consider the grade of people first. The grade of people must be considered first, not just the heavenly signs. This explains why identical cosmic conditions produce wildly different results from across nations or eras. So in India, you get as a nation, vortexian influences could cause them to be more selfless to one another. Vortexian influences, depending on, the orachnebuahgalah is curved. It could fall in one region and not fall in another, from what I understand. In India, they could come into a time of age as a nation, and somehow it influenced them to be more brotherly minded. A time of age, their spiritual grade they're at such a grade that AG falls, and this is what the flavor of that nation is. AG falls on the United States and Israel. What do? That part of the solar phalanx is going through an AG, or so let's say India is going through a time of light, and so they're more influenced to be brotherly. But at the same time, that solar phalanx, that curved line, is going through a region of AG. And so they tend to bombing and killing, The prophet must always consider the grade of the people first, not just heavenly signs. This explains why identical cosmic conditions can produce wildly different results across nations or eras. Okay, so if you look at the broader context, it says grades determine how vortexia, the universal force behind colors, sound, prophecy, sex, ratios, etc., express in behavior, culture, spirituality, and even voice and speech. Grades. I remember somebody telling me that's why a lot of the most popular songs have a really heavy beat. Because those draw Druidian influences. Music that has a real strong, heavy beat, it draws Druidian influences. They're attracted to that, from what I understand. Music with it's got a heavy beat to it. True faithists, meaning high grade, self-abnegating, they rise under light and they resist darkness through practice and practice and non-resistance. Look at that. That's the key word right there, practice. It ain't natural to take off the self. And it ain't easy. But it's fought in the mind. You fight yourself in your mind, taking off the self, the desire to serve, the influence, of yourself, to work, the worship of the self. True faith is high grade, self-abnegating, meaning non-self-serving. They rise under light and they resist darkness through patience and non-resistance because they see what's going on. They see spiritually what's going on. And they see the nakedness of the world. And then that influences you to take even more advantage of what you know. I'm trying to find to take advantage of the light of what you know and what is kept from the world. Not like you want knowledge to be kept from the world. The world, we live in an ignorant, dark place, man, for real. Concerning the creator, the knowledge of the resurrection. Most people cannot find the creator. They don't know how to. That's why a faithist is the most important person on the face of the earth. By far. It's not even close, man. And they are so unknown. Low grade groups, meaning self-serving, tied to the beast, the old systems of war, fighting, bloodshed, self-serving, they fall deeper into bondage under the same influences. So you got the solar phalanx going through a time of aging. People with low grade are going to turn even more stronger to themselves, to their survival. This framework lets a prophet forecast the rise and fall of nations by combining Vortexian cycles, Dan and Agee, with accurate grading of peoples, not by individual claims or professions, but by collective fruits, war versus peace, self versus service. For the full teaching, read Book of Cosmology and Prophecy, chapters 8 and 10, free, or was that 11 or 8 or 9? Freely available on Sacred Text. Okay. Now, I don't think I'm going to get to this. I think I'm a pass because I want to get to part 2 of why we are what we are. Okay, so that was the end of the study pretty much, so I can pass on the rest of this. However, I can scroll it if you want to read it. Okay, there's that part. There's that part. And there's this part. Okay, so if you want, you can scroll it and read it. Now, I want to turn to part 2 of the video that I did last week called Why We Are What We Are. Why we are what we are. I want to get to another part 2 of why we are what we are. Now, let's see. Let me change the screen. Let's change the screen. Okay, let's change the screen. Why we are what we are, part 2. See, the creator, man, the 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 creator, man, the one thing that faith does know, man, only the creator can answer our questions. Only the creator, man. I mean, just, you know, only the creator can answer our questions. If you really want to know, that's what this is all about, man. Our deepest questions only that's what all these videos are about, man, And it's number one, the OAHSPE is the only hope for mankind. It's the only hope, man, Because basically all we're doing is going in circles, really. With the arc cycles, the Ethereal gods taking their turn to raise men up from one stage to another. Now here we are. We in the Cosmic era, and it's time for us to combine the spiritual and the physical, meaning the kingdom on the earth, where the kingdom is like, what does the Bible say? It's like a seed and it grows real slowly. And you faithists right now are chosen to be to lay the foundation. And it ain't easy because we don't have, we're scattered. We're a lot of time isolated. And the creator has chosen us to carry this light, to carry the light. We go out into the world, we can see people's nakedness, not so that we can gloat over people, but the creator shows you that people are naked spiritually. They naked. And what it do to a faith is it cause a faith, it almost drive you crazy with compassion. Sometimes you may even get upset that you can't force people to leave the worship of the self. There ain't nothing we can do. That's the effect that the creator, let's have, we see that people are naked, but they do not want us trying to clothe them. It ain't their time. They're going to, but people are impatient. You know what I mean? I know I'm pretty impatient. And I like to try to force people to learn, to come into the light, man. Don't chase the world. The world is a carrot on a stick, man. I mean, for real, man. It's a carrot on a stick, you know? Why we are what we are, why we are the way we are, why we are the way we are, man. Why we are the way we are. OAHSPE does not use the modern psychological term self-awareness. OAHSPE does not use the psychological term self-awareness directly, but it addresses the concept extensively through teachings on self-knowledge, self-examination, the beast, which is the self, and spiritual grades, based on service to self versus others. Lacking self-awareness is portrayed as a profound form of darkness that binds souls to low grades, Druidian influence, and the first resurrection. Why we are the way we are. If you lack self-awareness, man, and that's one thing that the president is he lacks self-awareness. He does not care, or he does not know, or he knows and does not care that his actions show a lack of self-awareness, meaning you should be governed by the way you deal with people according to righteousness and knowledge. That's important to the creator. But if you can crap on people and not even care. Not only is that unnatural, but you will correct that. Will correct that. That's what judgment is, man. We talked about the nature of judgment exactly. And you can't argue with it. The creator, he lets you go into the spiritual, and then he opens up your understanding. He lets you remember the song, I Can See Clearly Now, the rain is gone? You remember that? That's what happens. Now you see yourself. And you know how in our reality, you look back at some of the things that you have done with greater understanding, and it fill you with remorse, the way you treated somebody, and you sorry you did that. You're truly sorry, man. Guess what? That's judgment. That's judgment. And the creator says it's 1,000 times clearer. We can see clearly now that the rain is gone. I can see clearly now. We can see clearly. And that's when your mind, well, from what I read, Drugen, I don't know how it worked with them when they go into the spiritual. It seemed like some of them are so hardcore that they ain't gonna break. They will not break, man. Meaning they're gonna do, even if you show them. I don't know. I could be wrong. You know what I mean? I could be wrong. But hardcore, Drugens, man. Why we are the way we are, part 2, key teachings, the beast, which is the self. The self. The beast is the self. The self. Me, I, me, I, me. What are synonyms? Me, and see, me, myself, and I. Right? Me, myself. Is there a song called Me, Myself, and I? Is there a song? There's a song. Let me see. Is there a song called Me, Myself, and I? Yep. There are a few very famous songs that have this exact title. Me, Myself, and I by De La Soul. I wonder what that sounds like. Me, myself, and I. I'm going to play a little bit of that. I want to see what that sounds like. Me, Myself, and I by De La Soul. Bear with me, brethren. I don't know if you can even hear what it sounds like. Oh, you probably can hear it, but I can't. It's going through my mic. I can't hear it. You can't see it on the screen. So click off of that. I'm just curious because that flavor goes out into the world, It's music and it teach people to worship the self. If it's what I think it is, me, myself, and I. I want to hear what that sounds like. Oh, anyway, key teachings, the beast, the self, me, myself, and I, and ignorance of it. In early eras, the beast, the self, rose up before man. So at some point, man got the idea, hey, man, I'm taking all of this stuff, I'm taking it. I'm taking it, man. In early eras, this happened thousands of years ago. In early eras, the beast, which is the self, rose up before man and led him into possession, war, and division. Many remain unaware of this inner self, ego, selfish desires, and they obey it unconsciously, making it for their true nature. I mean, you think you really that way. You're not that way. You're not selfish. You wasn't born. You wasn't created that way. We fell, man, into this. We fell into that. We were influenced to serve our own interests, serve myself. The beast, the self, man, rose up before man and led him into possession. And look at what we got today. The beast, the self, rose up before man and led him into possession, war, and division. Many remain unaware of this inner self, ego, selfish desires, and obey it. Now it's constitutional. Look at that. They obey it unconscious. Don't even know they're doing it, man. It's unconscious. Your conscience is seared over with a hot iron. You don't know. Mistaking it for the truth. That's the way I am. No, it is not. They mistake it for their true nature. True progress requires recognizing and mastering the self that is thyself. That's the creator self that you are, versus the self that is myself. That's why we have the command to know thyself. The Jesus of the Bible said, know thyself. OAHSPE urges constant self-examination. That's what people are for, other people in the world, so that they can reflect how you come across to them. Sometimes you come across righteously and it still rubbed them the wrong way. A faithist is likely to rub people the wrong way, if they begin to share the light. Seek to know thyself. Thou art not thy neighbor's keeper, meaning don't try to, govern over them. Don't try to rule over them, but search your own soul 100 times a day to know if thou practices the all highest according to thine own light. Those who fail to do this remain in simplicity. They scorn the light. And they remain bound by druges, low spirits. And they do not even know what's happening to them. Do not even know. Spiritual grades and self-service. In the book of Judgment, chapter 6, grades are determined by how much one serves self versus others. When you serve yourself only, that's grade 1. When you serve 3/4 of, let's say the clock, what's a third of a time? Okay, so from 6, let me see, 24 divided by what? 3 is 12, that's 2. So 6, 6, 6. 6 times 3 is 24. So for 6 hours of the day, I serve myself only. Nope. When you're grade 1, that means from 6 a.m. to 5:59 the next morning, you serve yourself. Grade 1, serve yourself only. That's grade 1. When you serve, when you're serving 3/4 of the time, so 3/4 of the time, right? Let me see. So 3/4 of the time, from 6 to, I'm not configuring. I was terrible at math, so maybe I better leave this alone. Most of the time when you're serving yourself, but you leave from 12 to 5 in the morning, you serve other people. But during most of the day, you serve yourself. 3/4 of the day, grade 25. Balanced is half the time. Serving others, serving yourself. Serving others wholly is grade 99, atmosphere and grade. Lack of self-awareness keeps people trapped in self-service without realizing it, because you could be trapped, and that's what traps most people. I firmly believe, man, the flesh, the body, the self, the mind, man, you could be trapped in your own mind, serving yourself. All you know is your own interest, man. That's all you know. You don't speak about something you've done for other people, that meaning without pay, you know? You don't talk that way, man, where something you did for someone and they did not even know you did it, man, without boasting about it. You know, yeah, I'm convicted. Me, Jaquab, is convicted. Self-knowledge as foundation. Would you examine yourself? If you examine yourself, it says the book of knowledge emphasizes that one must attain knowledge of one's own self. Know yourself. Sit down and think about yourself, not the Drugian self. Who you are according to you, man. You know, what would you like to be? That's for the creator. That's how you find the creator. The book of knowledge emphasizes that one must attain knowledge of one's own self. Your own self, man, rather than relying on belief or external testimony. So it's like, don't even read the OAHSPE, man. Just sit down and think, man, you know, and get real with yourself. What do you hope the best, you know what I mean? What is the best that life, you know? You know what I mean? Man often does not truly know himself, his beginning, his true entity. He doesn't know his beginning, his true entity, or the difference between his corporeal and spiritual senses. Without this, he cannot comprehend higher truths. Consequences and the path forward. Consequences and the path forward. Let me separate that. Really, this is just baby talk, really. It's kind of like a shame to even be talking about this stuff. It's kind of a shame, man. That's how far we've gotten away from the time of our creation as Asu, you know, until now, where we have this high opinion and self-worship of ourselves. And when you go down that road, the creator, you lose him. He's gone. The angels, they keep coming. They have arc cycles, and the Ethereans, they keep coming back and come and call you back, call you back, call you back, you know, raise you up from this level to that level, which should prove the spiritual, but that's how thick the flesh is, man. People lacking self-awareness, meaning they're unconscious of their inner beast, motives, or spiritual state, they dwell in darkness. And that's a party for the Druges, subject to obsession. Vampires and chaos is higher angels withdraw in the cosmic era. So again, man, the creator, he don't beg anybody to come into this truth. He don't, you know, the creator does not beg people. You know, he doesn't plead with anyone. He not on his hands and knees like the Christian God, just begging you, man, please, you know, please come to me. Please, I'm begging you, man, you know, please come into this everlasting, gorgeous kingdom that's forever, you know, please, I'm begging you. Creator doesn't do that. They cannot build Jehovah's organic kingdoms. People who are lacking self-awareness, man, they cannot build Jehovah's organic kingdoms or rise beyond the first resurrection. The remedy is practice over profession, radical self-examination, self-abnegation, denying the selfish self, service to others, living as faithful in non-resistant communal ways. I don't know how we're going to do that, to be honest. I picture a farm with everybody living on it. I guess this channels are a community too, like this one, other ones. Those are communities. It's communities of faith that's there. This quickens inner perception so one can know of thine own knowledge. So one can, when you just begin to practice, just practice in your own mind, begin to practice self-examination, begin to practice identifying according to knowledge, judging your thoughts and feelings, where they come from, then that help us know how to fight back. How to fight back. Until we get light, man, we fighting in the dark. We don't know how, y'all remember that movie? What was that movie? You remember that movie? What was that movie? What was that movie? What was that movie? What was that movie? Which Way Is Up, I think? Was that Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder? Is that the movie where Richard Pryor was blind and he got in a fight and Gene Wilder was saying 12 o'clock. And so he would turn to 12 o'clock and throw a punch. And then he said 3 o'clock. And then he would turn, he would turn to 3 o'clock and throw a punch. That's spiritually what is that's the condition of the world. You fighting in the dark, man. But when the light is on, you can identify, you can fight back, man. But you need the light. Where is my enemy at, man? Where is he attacking me from? I don't know, Now the Creator is saying, there he is right there. Get him, The light, man. Lack of self-awareness is one of the greatest barriers to light. You don't even realize, man, that you getting punched out, You don't have no self-awareness. You're not examining yourself, man, Examine yourself. OAHSPE sees lack of self-awareness is one of the greatest barriers to light. It's a form of spiritual ignorance that perpetuates the old order. Lack of self-awareness, it keeps the old order going. It keeps the old order going. Lack of self-awareness. Awakening begins with honest daily soul searching, and choosing Jehovah's all highest over the self. Those who persist hear the voice and rise. They hear the voice and rise, man. The only way we're going to hear it is when you identify, you sit down and you know yourself. Think about how your reactions with people, were they positive or negative? What type of thoughts did you have? Did you want to, kill somebody today? What type of things did you say, man? How does it line up with the righteousness of the Creator? Even the simple mortal truths of the Bible. How did it line up with that? In depth, according to OAHSPE, faith should be circumspect. They should watch out, man. Be circumspect. In depth, the reason why the way we are, according to OAHSPE, faith should be circumspect. They should be cautious. They should be discerning. See? And selective in their dealings with mortals, meaning Uzians, the world's people living under the lower laws of self-governments and the beast. For several interconnected spiritual reasons. Now, this is a touchy thing right here because we're not called to literally separate from the world's people. But this separation here is talking about our interactions, if you can separate the two, in the sense of just being careful of getting sucked in to Druidian environments. You in a group, best example, I see it all the time where I have to watch myself, where you get involved with the group. I remember even when I was a Hebrew Israelite, man, I didn't like this. I remember I used to work construction, and I always used to talk on video about how I hated going. Well, I a Libra don't like to work anyway, you know. And I used to go to work. I used to work construction, man, and I hated it. I hated my life. I would go to work cussing. I would come home cussing. I would go to sleep cussing. One of the things I hated, man, was I knew when I showed up in the morning on a Monday morning, everybody was going to talk about how they chased their wife around the house. You know, that's what men do, you know? And I hated it, man. I just wanted to cry, you know? And I was usually one of the biggest dudes there. I'm a big dude, you know? I kind of stick out in the crowd. And so what I would do, I would try to hide, man, and get behind. I would stand in the back and try to stand in back of somebody. And sure enough, man, hey, Kurt, what did you do this weekend? You know, and in my soul, I would start cussing like he just had to talk to me, you know. Start cussing under my breath, you know. And then I said, oh man, I hung out, you know, looked at some shows and were they X-rated? Why you little, you know, I hate your guts, man. You know, I hated dealing with the Uzians in that regard, man. You know what I mean? Where you couldn't even get away. The world's people living under the lower laws of self, governments, and the beast. For several interconnected spiritual reasons, this protects their light. That's talking about us. Creator ain't saying separate to be mean. He's saying protect your light, man, because sometimes you get in conversations and then you get dragged into them, into agreeing or going along with it, you know. It affects your light. People can affect our light. By separating in this manner, it prevents dilution of the organic kingdom, and it fulfills Jehovah's command to live as a living example without being pulled back into darkness. Careful not to be pulled back into darkness, man. Careful, be careful, man. Regard it. Always know it's begging you to come back. Preservation of spiritual grade and offspring. Preservation of spiritual grade. Why we are the way we are. Since the highest, best good things done in the world come of the order of faithfulness, be circumspect as to marriage, that your offspring incline more to spirituality than to earthliness. Now, the Uzian, the anti-Jehovian way of marriage is usually the flesh. You know what I mean? Does she have a shape? You know, does he have money? You know, that's the Uzian. And even the OAHSPE says people, they get together because of impulses. The Creator, he says, examine a person whether they have any spirituality. That's the faithless way. This extends beyond marriage to all close associations. Faithless beget faithless. That's the kingdom. That's the kingdom. Do you know it's going to be celibate people raising children, if I understand correctly? Celibate people. The OAHSPE has got an account. And the OAHSPE talking about that. Have y'all seen that part of the OAHSPE? Book of Shalem, is it? Or Kingdom? Or remember the dude was saying, what do I do? Who do I hire? The kingdom. How do I set it up? You know? Creator, he says something about celibates, man, raising the kingdom children. This extends beyond marriage to all close associations. Separation principle. Faithless beget faithless, spiritually and physically. Mixing too freely with low-grade Uzians risks lowering the grade of children, communities, and the work itself. See, that's why people, they really show you this principle in our world. Some people have gated community. I live in a gated community, but I'm moving at the end of this year. And I don't know why it is that I like living in certain places that you might call rough areas. I don't know why I am like that, man. But I seem to resonate like those. I don't know why I like that situation better than where I am right now. This is like this area here, it's a gated community. And people, whatever, man. I think that principle is in the world where people separate themselves, you know. In other places, they seem to associate more. Places maybe that ain't so great. The people there, they seem to associate more. And I like that situation when people, they like to associate with you. They come out of their house, man. You can count on them to come out, and you can talk to them. Here, I haven't even met my neighbors yet in this place here. I have not even met my neighbors, because they tired of working. They don't want to be bothered. Home and leave the world behind. I've been here since November. I have not even met my neighbor yet. The one time when I first moved in, he was coming out. I said, "How you doing?" He just walked on by me, just walked right, didn't even say anything. Because people, the world, I think it just drags them down. The responsibilities, trying to keep up, expensive to live on the earth. Money going up every day, responsibilities of the earth. The inner light, the spiritual ascendancy must be guarded. Living as an example without being contaminated. The same chapters in the book of Esdras warns against Satan's 3 false calls. So here now Satan is saying, hey man, Satan, the 3 false calls of Satan. We just got finished reading. The Creator says, be careful, guard your light. Separate, but don't separate. But Satan comes along, he says, stay in the wicked world and leaven the whole mass. Like, just turn the whole earth around, stay in the wicked world and leaven the whole mass. Keep yourself subject to Druidian influences. Don't worry, you can do it. You can do it, it ain't going to affect you. Don't worry about it. You can, see, Satan is talking now. Or he comes along, he said, withdraw completely as aesthetics. Withdraw completely. One time Satan spoke to me. I mean, when I was in my early 20s, I was considering becoming a monk. I was in the Coast Guard, and I was actually, a helmsman is the person who drives the ship. When I was in the Coast Guard, I was on the ship. And one point I was, everybody has to take their turn driving on the helm, right? So it was my turn. And the captain, he said, so Yaiquab, what's your long term, or not Yaiquab, I was Curtis back then. He said, so, tell me your long-term plans, I said, you know what? I might like becoming a monk. He burst out laughing. And I was serious. A monk is somebody who completely withdraw themselves. See, Satan. You could be under his influence and not. Matter of fact, that's the best testimony where you under the influence, you don't even know it. Withdraw completely, man. Withdraw ascetics. There's a group of men and women who are ascetics and they think that that's great. Or Satan says, hey, man, I agree with you. Hide away. Let the world alone. See, there was another time I was under Satan. Remember talking about my workaday period of my life? Friday, I come home Friday, turn off the phone, either go to sleep, don't wake up till Monday or to use the bathroom, or drink all weekend watching movies in the dark. Hide away, let the world alone. Satan talking. Influences people that way. He influences them. So it's like Creator says, balance yourself. And then Satan says, nope, he tried to get you to go to the extreme. Go to the extreme. Instead, let your community remain within the world. Okay, so faith is no. Remain in the world, that it may be a proven example of love, peace, and plenty, and happiness. That love, peace, and plenty, and happiness are possible on the earth. Okay, now it's 7:00. I'm going to close the video in a half hour, and just type a 1 in the chat if you want me to drop the link and you want to come on and you want to say something, add to what I'm saying, or you want to criticize what I'm saying or cuss me out. Just drop a 1 in the chat. So when I end the study, if you type a 1, I'll drop the link. You can come on and you can speak your piece. The Creator says, instead, let your community remain within the world, that it may be a proven example that love, peace, and plenty and happiness are possible on the earth, but remain sufficiently aesthetic, disciplined, seclusive, take no part in the governments of men. Faithists live in the world, but are not of it. Protection from Judas. This is why the Creator is saying, keep a healthy distance from the Uzians, the world. Protection from Judas. Protection from Judas. Obsession and lower influences. Uzians are often under Uzians, the world's people, are often under the influence of Druges, which are low evil spirits, meaning self-focus and war thinking, and the old beast systems. Close, unguarded dealings expose faithists to obsession, temptation, and spiritual bondage. Higher angels withdraw support from those who compromise with the lower laws. Higher angels withdraw support from those who compromise with the lower laws. Circumspection keeps the pillars of fire, spiritual barriers strong around the kingdom. The seclusive principle from earlier verses we discussed. Okay, the account of Yima and who was it? If you remember the OAHSPE, Yima, he was told to set up a kingdom. Remember? How to construct it, make it with firewalls, and don't just go out and beg people, man. Just make them know that, hey, this kingdom is for separate people, man. It's for a set apart people. It's for faithists, man. Yima, the Creator said, don't be begging people, and he was using reverse psychology. People want what they are not necessarily, welcome to. And the Creator does not welcome Uzians and Drusians to take part in the kingdom, because the reverse psychology that he's using. So here, Yema, he was told to make the kingdom this way. Don't make it to where people just think they can just come and join it. Make sure that there's an element of exclusivity to this kingdom. Don't tell people, because you don't motivate them unless they think that something is being denied them. The seclusive principle, as with Yema's heavenly kingdom, earthly faithless communities must not be too open at first. Idlers, the unready, and those self-serving would flood in and weaken the work. Oh man, faithless. Hey, you know what? They believe in giving and serving others, man. You know that? Yeah, they got a kingdom he's setting up over there, man. Let's go over there and we just gonna live off of them. They gonna serve us, hot meals and 5 meals a day, 5-star chefs they got. Yeah, let's go over there. They over there at Yaquab's house. Let's go over there, That's why the Creator is saying the unready and those serving self would, once they find out, hey, it's faithless over there, they would flood in, and weaken the work. People will take advantage of you. They will do it, man. Wise boundaries attract the sincere with zeal later. Wise boundaries, man. You let people know, hey, this required commitment, man. Faiths are to practice non-resistance, help the poor orphans, and do good works, but without entangling alliances, political involvement, or carnal mixing that dilutes Jehovah's voice. Separation as Jehovah's pattern. Repeatedly, Jehovah's commands come out from amongst them. Separate people and the evil. As in all problems, that organic, that's people who are for real, man. They're for real. These are faithless indeed. People who are selfless, selfless, all about only serving the Creator, which means to serve other people. Our brother's keeper for real, man. Organic kingdoms under Jehovah alone. No human rulers, no war, even defensive wars, not even a defensive war. No flesh eating, no false gods. That's Jehovah's kingdom right there. Practical application in the cosmic era. Be friendly, do good to all, but meaning people who are obviously under Drusian influences, Uzzian influences, worldly influences, or you could become contaminated. Guard inner covenants, marriages, close friendships, and community membership. So remember, gated communities, they operate on this principle. They're keeping people out. They want to be their own people. That's what the sign is, a gated community. They realize that they in a world where people will, who are of a low motivation, who will come and steal. And that's what gated communities are. That's what they're saying, really. You go up towards the mountains, where I live, nicer neighborhoods, and you can even feel it. They don't want you there if you don't live there. You can feel it. That's the way people are. The Creator says, yeah, that principle, it applies to faiths too. We're supposed to guard our light, the light that's within. We can be influenced. Judge by practice, not perfection. Don't talk, do it. Associate based on fruits, peace, service to others, self, abnegation. associate based on fruits, man. Their actions are right, their words are right, you know, they're they you know what I mean? They do right. Remain circumspect, so the kingdom stays a pure light that eventually draws the world rather than being swallowed by it. There's such a thing called narcissism. We talked about that earlier. Okay, we made it to the end of the study. Narcissism. That's what President Trump is under right now. He's under the Drugian influence of narcissism, where you're concerned, you are your own motivation, yourself, and everything, and those close around you. He's willing to run for office so that he can enrich himself, even at the expense of other people. He does not care, or he does care and he does not care. He either does not know how he is coming across, or he does know and he does not care. When you are that important to yourself, man, then your self-awareness, when you cannot care about people, when you can not have no empathy, man, narcissism, that is narcissism for your behind, man. And America is full of this stuff. Narcissism, man. Narcissism. A lot of people are that way, man. They are subject to Drugian influences. They make that choice, and then it becomes constitutional in them. You keep choosing that path, it'll become, now you can't even see it. Your conscience is waxed over with a hot iron to where you can't are in the dark. You in the dark. You are in the dark, man. You don't, you know. All right, I did it. I actually finished before the end of the video. Now I'm gonna go to the chat. See who's in the chat. I actually finished. Now, did I get everything in that I wanted? Actually, I did. There were some things I wanted to read. Some of the things that I posted in the room. I haven't been reading from Radiance Anthology. A lot of people love Radiance Anthology. I've got to, maybe next time, brother. Let me go to the chat and see who's in there. Okay, I'm in the chat now. Nazarene is seen. Brother Dwayne. Brother Dwayne, good to see you, brother. Salvatore Marines, I don't know who that is, but welcome to the video. Amorous Love, Rearin. Amorous Love, we're in. Good to see you, sis. Thank you for your kind words, sister. Yep, this is the only hope for mankind. The OAHSPE is the only. When Mahalia was in here, I was talking about her. She crossed my mind this weekend by that thing that she said. Tabitha was in here. The talent story always struggled in my soul for years. Creator will never use such her. Yep, that's right. The creator, see, that's the thing. The flavor of the Bible is problematic. It is problematic, man. You read the Old Testament, man, you hear them gods start talking. Verse 9, brother, I can't wait to get a hold of you. Verse 10, I saw what you did. Verse 11, go get me that switch off of that tree. That's the flavor of the Old Testament, and that's what scared people. Yep, you're right, Tabitha. Uzians love darkness and pain. Yeah, I don't know. Wait, now, I don't know. When you don't know you in a situation, you know what I mean? I hear you, but Uzzians love dark. I don't know about that one, Tabitha. Uzzians love darkness and pain. Some people, I'll say some people in dark, even in some music, speaking love and peace is not a yeah, that is the truth. That is the truth. Hey, Jamia, how's Nolan? She was in here. I don't know if y'all are still in here. Jamia, how's Nolan doing? Good to see you, sis. Brother Dwayne. Oh, yeah, that song, Backmasking. My brother was in here. he chimed in. Choosy Tube is my brother. He said it was Led Zeppelin, Stairway to Heaven. It was? Backmasking? How do you know who Led Zeppelin even is, Chuck? How do you know all you knew was Parliament and Bootsy Collins and the Gap Band. Who are you to be I was the one that listened to White Rock in high school. What are you talking about, Led Zeppelin? My brother, man. You know. He got water in his legs, meaning he could dance like Michael Jackson. And that's the truth. My brother, that is the truth. Who was it? Somebody wanted him to tour with them. Gladys Knight and the Pips, I think it was. My own brother, man. He got a grass cutting business called, see, his name is Chuck, right? My dad called him Chuck-a-Luck. Hey, he probably, I don't know if he's still in the chat. I'm going to tell him this story, bro. I'm going to tell him this story. I don't know, my brother probably said, don't do it. Don't do it. That's not true. He got a grass cutting business. I told him to name it Chuck-a-Luck's Grass Cut for a few bucks. Chuck-a-Luck's Grass Cut for a few bucks. Now that's catchy, man. You know. Okay. When I was talking about backmasking, that seems to have caught on. Dwayne says, I think that Shout song by Tears for Fear, I'm going to check it out when I get off the video here. I think that Shout song by, Shout, Let It All Out. For Fears also, when played backwards, if I recall correctly. And I'm going to check it out. I looked at that video one time where they played a whole list of songs that if you backmask it, it has a hidden message. You know what? That's satanic, man. That is satanic. To get people, to influence people, I'm convinced. I am convinced, man. If you make a song saying, I love Satan and he's number one, ain't nobody going to listen to that. You have to trick them. Oh, my brother, he said De La Soul. So I think I was asking something like, who has anybody made a song called Me, Myself, and I? He knew it instantly. And he said Beyonce too. Oh, De La. Ain't that a trip? Beyonce did too? I can believe that. Beyonce, I can believe that. She's in the world, man. She is in the world. She's in the world. I have heard about her. Let's see. Yeah, you late, Dwayne. My brother beat you to it. Let me see. My brother says 6x3 is 18, bro. Oh. Yeah. Who's called? Now, Brother Clendo this is the brother from the Bible study. I'm going to let y'all listen in. Hey, brother.
How are you?
Okay, how you doing?
All right.
Hey, have you been getting my emails? I invited you to come on the live on one of them. Did you get that one?
No. What email address do you recall what email address you sent it to?
Yeah, Dr. Glenn Kendall.
At pm.me?
I don't know.
Glenn Kendall.
I said, you know what? I think there's something going on with my computer. I really do think something is going on. I sent an email saying I was going to do that study. I was going to go over that study that you did on the last Wednesday study we did, and I wanted you to come on and comment on it.
The one about the 5 spheres of the soul?
Yeah, the 5 spheres of the soul. I was asking you to come on and comment on it. And guess what? Actually, you're on my live right now.
What?
You're on my live right. I'm just finishing up my live. I'm just finishing it up. And you called.
Yeah, I just woke up not too long ago. Yeah.
Oh. Hey Chuck, if he's still here, he's in Cincinnati too. So anyway, that's why I called you earlier. I wanted to see. I'm thinking that there's something wrong with my. I got to check it out.
I don't know if that's true. I don't have an email that has my full name like that. It's the same. It's Dr. Kendall. That's at pm.me. That's one of them, just so you have a general idea. And the other is my Gmail is drgp.kendall.
Do me a favor, send me an email. Just send me an email, okay?
Yeah, sure.
And do me a favor. Since I got you on the chat right now. Can you give a 1 minute summary of the study you did? I got you on the live right now.
Yeah, I don't mind. Hold on, let me go to my office.
Okay. Just let me know when you're ready. I'm going through the chat, addressing the chat. I usually do it before I end the video. So let me, I'm going to be on the chat. Just tell me when you're ready.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Now, my brother. Let's see, Chuck. He said that movie. Nope, Chuck. Nope. That was not the movie. I was. Wait a minute. Uh-oh. You may have me again. Oh, this would be embarrassing. Nope, that movie was Richard Pryor. No, bro, you are wrong. Uh-oh. I think my brother might be right, man. You laughing too, my brother. I was telling him earlier about a movie where I was talking about spiritual blindness and how it was equal to how we fighting in the dark, man, until we come into the light and we know who our opponent is, you know. And I was mentioning this movie where I thought it was Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder, and Richard Pryor played a blind man. And Gene Wilder said 12 o'clock because Richard Pryor, he was blind, but he got into a fight. So Gene Wilder was telling him what position to punch in. And he would say 12 o'clock. So he would turn at 12 o'clock and throw a punch. And then 3 o'clock, and he would turn at 3 o'clock and throw a punch. And I was trying to remember the name of the movie. I thought it was Which Way Is Up or something. My brother said, no, that was Clint Eastwood. So let me see.
My original, I got the track, which is very close. Let me get to the.
I was trying to give a summary because I went to bring it up. On my video, and I lost everything.
Really?
I lost every. I lost. And wouldn't you know it? Right when I was getting ready to refer to it on my channel, it disappeared. I lost everything. All the files I had, all this, everything is gone. And you know what? I wasn't even surprised. I was not surprised, man. I've been seeing a lot of that type of stuff. A lot of it. Hey, can you come on? Why don't you just come on the channel and come? I'm on. I'm still on. You can come on. I can drop the link, and you can share right here.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm trying to find what I presented.
No, I mean, can you come on to YouTube?
Okay, you gotta show me how to come on to YouTube.
Well, you don't. Okay, so you don't have YouTube then?
Yeah, I got YouTube. Yeah.
Oh, then just type in my name.
Okay, just a lot going. All right, just a second.
Okay. Okay, Chuck. Chuck. Oh boy, I hope I'm right, but I trust you probably know what you're talking about. Okay, he said it was Clint Eastwood's movie. I got to check it out after I get off. He said, and he'd say 3:00, and Clyde would punch in an o'clock projector. Okay. I'm embarrassed. I thought it was Which Way Is Up. I'm gonna find out, brother. I thought it was Which Way Is Up. So we waiting for Dr. Kendall to come on, and I want him to give a summary of that study we did. The name of the video was Why We Are What We Are. I've got him on the phone, and I want him to give like a brief synopsis of the study. It was magic. It was magical. And so if I can get it on video. So I'm waiting on him right now.
Yeah, I'm just trying to. This is strange.
Hey, that's all right. You don't have to if you don't want to. You know, you can just speak over the.
I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to find it.
Oh, okay. So.
Hold on. Just give me.
Okay. And I also sent you something over Facebook too to comment on something a sister was wanting to know.
It's weird.
Yep.
Hold on. It's in OneDrive. Hold on. That's why I always put it OneDrive. A restoration.
Okay, let me see. I'm talking to my brother now. He said, "Which Way Is Up?" was okay. Hold on a second. I'm determined to prove my brother wrong. All right. Let me see if I can get him. I'm talking to my brother in the chat now. Now I said one thing, he's saying another. I'm gonna see if I'm right. Was there a movie in which Richard Pryor had a fight when he was blind? No, shoot. Is there a movie in which Richard Pryor was blind and he had a fight and Gene Wilder was directing him to punch?
Where is it? That's weird. That's just happened.
Okay. Chuck, you see that? You see? Okay, so I was right. The name of that movie is See No Evil, Hear No Evil. I was right. For once, I proved my brother wrong. I'm talking to him on the chat. Let me see. Okay, hold on, Chuck. I'm gonna bring it up on the screen. I'm gonna bring it up on the screen. See? There it is. See no evil, hear no evil. Hey Chuck, so what do you got to say about that? That younger brother was right. You don't like that, do you? Now, okay. That movie with Clint Eastwood, I think I remember where he was telling that guy, telling the chimp, something or so I'll give you that. I'll give you that. So I'm still waiting on Dr. Kendall to. He's looking for that study. I wanted him to give a summary of what we went over on Wednesday, and I just started with pure magic, and so it's going to be good that it's going to go out on video, and for people who come and they check it out afterwards. So let me see. My brother's saying, I'm saying you got that.
I don't have, I'm trying to find a specific one, but I'll use another one.
Okay.
So I just type the name.
Oh, yeah. Yaiqua, Yaiquab. And then you put Yisrael.
Yisrael.
L.
Yael.
Yisrael.
Is there a space between the two names?
Yeah, put a space, and the OAHSPE should come up on my icon.
And what I see is Yahweh Israel.
Do you see the OAHSPE?
No.
Okay. Did you type it Yaiquab?
Yeah.
And then did you type Yisrael?
Yeah.
And you put that in the search in YouTube.
Yeah, it's always something, right? Let me go back to YouTube again.
Okay.
So what's coming up? Oh, wait a second. Here it is.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. What's the next step?
Just click on that. The name of the message is the orachnebuahgalah prophecy tables.
Let me turn up the phone on that. Hold on. The name of the message. I got it.
Oh, shoot. Okay, type of 1, doctor, if you can hear me. Type of 1, doctor, if you can hear me. Can you hear me, Dr. Kendall? Type of 1, if you can hear me. I'm waiting on Dr. Kendall. Type of 1, Dr. Kendall, if you can hear me. He's not on you. He's not on social media much, so I think he's figuring it out. So give him a second. Let me call him back. If I call him back, it might be Dr. Kendall.
Yeah, I see you on the screen. I hear you on the screen. See no evil, hear no evil. Wikipedia. I see you on the screen. I hear you on the screen. Oh, I see. See no evil, hear no evil.
Oh, okay. You got to turn your phone off. Oh, okay. We got him. Hey, doctor, click on that link. Click on the link. Here, I'm going to put the link in the room again. Let me put the link in the room. When I put it in the room, click on it. And then that'll bring you into the chat. Okay, so click on that link and it'll bring you into the chat. So just click on that link, or it should bring you into the chat. So there must be some issue on his end then. We'll wait. Let me see. So as the world turns with me and my brother, He said, "Oh, there he is. We got the brother. We got brother Glenn Kendall, Dr. Kendall. Let me bring him on stage." One second. We got him. See if you can talk, doctor.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, we're gonna have an audio issue now.
Can you hear me?
Type A2 if you can't hear the doctor. Type a 2.
Testing
If
1, 2.
you
I see there's a mic. Testing 1, 2.
Okay, then it's me. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, the problem is me. Hold on a second. The problem is on my end. Hold on one second. Okay, can I be heard, first of all?
Yeah, I can hear
Can
you.
anybody hear me? Can anyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Let me try to figure it out.
Yes.
Now, everyone can hear you, doctor, but they can't hear me. So let me figure it out. My sound, it might change. I'm going to switch mics. Okay, doctor, say something.
1098.
Okay, now I can't hear.
OAHSPE, OAHSPE.
They can hear me, but I can't hear you, doctor. Hold on a second. Let me figure it out. Let me do some unplugging here. I don't know what's going to happen, but let me do some stuff here.
Wait, I'll be right back.
Okay, now I can hear you.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
Okay. All right. I don't know how I sound. I just unplugged my microphone. So can I be heard okay? Let me see. Can I still be heard okay? Oh, I can? Thanks, Dwayne. All right, let's give the doctor a second. And I want him to give a summary of what we studied last week. He did a video. He did a Bible study. We have a Bible study every Wednesday. And he actually did that study. I had come up with a video. I come up with the videos that I'm going to do like a month ahead of time. When it came time for me to do that video, a day before he did the study on the same subject. How do you like that? How do you like that for coincidence? And there is no coincidence. I had prepared that video a month in advance, and the day before I was going to do it, he did a study on the same subject. So tell me spirituality is not real. Okay, so doctor, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay, if you don't mind, and thank you for joining me. Okay, I appreciate it. I know you're busy, man. And, hey, can you tell them a little bit about Youth Haven first?
You got some delay feedback. Sure. Okay, Youth Haven is based upon my PhD study, which focused on improving the group home model for foster care and unwed mothers and their children. Uh, it's a different approach because most eco villages are for private membership, and this is a public service. So that's why it is called Public Eco Village, Youth Haven Public Eco Village. It is registered um, with,
Hey, say that again.
yeah, it's registered with the government. So it is registered with the government. Youth Haven Public, it's trademarked. Uh, and it is designed to provide a different type of model and approach for vulnerable teens and unhoused mothers and their children by instead of group home, instead of being a group home, it's an eco village, so it's very green. And so we'll have so there's an intentionality to the, and that's the gist of it. There's a lot more to it. I don't know how deep you want me to go, but
You can take as much time as you want.
okay. The research shows that uh, it's feedback.
Oh, you got feedback, huh?
Yeah, it's a delay. I got to not talk, so the voice.
Okay, let me see if I can do something. Maybe it's on my end. Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, hold on, let me put on my microphone and all that. Maybe that can help. Yeah, I can.
It could be on my end.
Testing 1 2. Let me see. Testing 1 2. Let me see.
Okay,
Test,
do
test.
you hear me now?
I think the delay no longer there.
Oh, I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, you sound good.
Okay. Uh, okay. So Youth Haven Public Eco Village is designed to provide a green type of approach uh,
It's still echoing, huh?
for residential services 25 hours a day, every day of the year. This is some unique. They have some unique features. One of which is they will grow their own food. Um, I don't know what delay is like that.
It could be something on my end.
No, I don't see anything I can do on my side.
Okay, how about now?
Testing 1, 2.
Yeah, I can hear you fine. Is there still an echo?
Testing 1, 2.
I hear you fine.
Testing. It's not so much the echo, it's the okay, let me try it again. I have to stop talking, so that's the problem. Kind of weird. Okay.
Yeah.
So the voice is not talk. The voice is not happening at the same time. You can't. I got to stop talking so the voice can talk. Let me see what the setting is saying. Audio.
I'm trying to figure something out on my end.
Okay, let me testing 1, 2. Okay, that's better.
Yeah.
All right. There's some settings. Testing 1, 2. Okay, that's better.
Yeah.
Okay, now we got to add that. Okay, now we got to add that.
Oh, wait, but hold on a second. Okay, how about now? Oh, wait, but hold on a second. Okay, how about now?
Yes, it's really bad echo.
Okay, how about now?
Nope. Yes, it's really bad echo.
To the chat.
Nope. Yes, it's really bad echo.
To the chat.
Nope. Yes, it's really bad echo. To the chat. Nope.
Look at the chat. Look at the chat.
Hello?
Yeah, I hear you, but still got that echo.
Yeah, the echo is really.
Hello?
Yeah, I hear you, but still got that echo.
Yeah, the echo is very strong.
Yeah, I hear you, but still got that echo.
Yeah, the echo is very strong. Hold on, just a second.
Okay, now the echo is off.
Hello?
Okay, now the echo is off.
Oh, good. Hi. Hello? All right.
Hello?
That's much
Okay,
better.
now the echo is off.
Okay.
Good.
Hello? It's still a delay. All right.
Hello?
That's much
Okay,
better.
now the echo is off.
Okay, good.
Hello?
It's still a delay. All right.
Hey, doctor, if you can hear me, go out and come back in.
Hello? It's still a delay. All right.
Hey, doctor, if you can hear me, go out and come back in.
Hello? You mean to leave the site altogether?
Yeah, try going out of YouTube.
Leave the site altogether?
Yeah, try going out.
Going
out of
You leave
YouTube.
the site altogether?
Yeah, try going out.
Okay. You leave the site altogether?
Yeah, try going out. See, you can't tell me that something spiritual is not at work here. That's why I'm not even getting frustrated. I'm not even really even frustrated. I'm just so used to this type of stuff. There is absolutely no reason. Anytime the light is an opportunity, then things like this happen. I'm not even really surprised, but I'm going to take as long as it takes in order for him to come to, because I wanted to go on video. So I'm going to be hanging out, guys, with the doctor, and we're going to figure it out. And I'm not going to let it discourage me from letting him speak. Yeah, I've been looking at my connections. I've never had this happen before. And I've been clicking and unclicking things. And all right, so I'm still just waiting on the doctor. We have technical difficulties. We trying to figure it out. So thank you, brethren, for hanging on. I guarantee you. Oh, he's back. He's back. Let me click on the link, doctor, if you can hear me. Let's see if we got this figured out. Okay, click on the link. And that'll bring you into on stage. Click on the link. Okay.
All right. Can you hear me okay?
Okay. Can you hear me?
All right. Okay, you still got the delay.
Okay.
The delay is still there, so
Can you hear me?
it's gonna be kind of weird. Okay, you still got the delay.
Okay.
The delay is still there, so
Can you hear me?
it's gonna be kind of weird. Okay, you still got the delay.
Okay.
The delay is still there, so
Can you hear me?
it's gonna be kind of weird. Okay, you still got the delay.
Okay.
The delay is still there, so
Can you hear me?
it's gonna be kind of weird. Okay, you still got the delay.
Okay.
The delay is still there.
Can you hear me?
I'm trying to trying to adjust all the different settings, and it's still not seem to be working. Well, I'm trying to trying to adjust things, and it still not seem to be working. Well, I'm trying to trying to adjust things, and it still not seem to be working. I'm trying to adjust things, and it still not seem to be working.
What can cause echo on? What can cause echo on? What can cause echo on? What can Hey, doctor, can you hear me? So the echo is stopped.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me? 1, 2, 3. Hear me? All right, there's no echo, it's just a delay. Um, how would you want me to proceed?
Whatever is comfortable for you. I went online to see what the problem might be. I'm going to post it on the screen. Maybe that might help.
Can you scroll down?
Yeah. 1 second. Can you see it?
Yes. I followed their instructions. It's all going through my external speaker and microphone. It's not going through the computer. Microphone or speaker. At least it shouldn't. Say something, Yakwa.
Testing.
Say something.
Testing.
Oh, wait a second. It's still going through. Say that again.
Testing, testing, testing. Do you have a lot of tabs open?
Try it now.
Testing, testing.
Hello? Can you try it now?
Testing, testing, testing.
Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. Yes.
I hear you. Hold on.
Testing 1 2. Can you say something, please?
Okay, I disconnected. I disconnected and I came back on. Can you hear me okay?
Okay. Can you hear me? I don't know why everything. Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. That's weird.
Okay,
Testing.
how about now? Can you hear me now?
Okay, keep talking. Okay, don't stop talking.
Testing, testing.
Okay, yeah, I got it. Can you hear me fine? Is there any
Okay, I'm
delay?
testing, testing.
Okay, is there any delay in what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's an echo. Yeah.
Testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. I'm not experiencing any delay. But I don't know if you can hear me.
Okay, I hear you. A lot of pictures. I got a lot of stages where it's showing my okay, can you hear me? You can hear me, right?
Yes.
How about now? Can you hear me now?
I hear you fine. There's no problem. There's no delay.
Let me do some unplugging here.
Wait, you're not acknowledging me, so I don't know if you can hear me.
Say something.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 10, 9, 8. 1, 2, 3. 10, 9, 8. 1, 2, 3. 10, 9, 8. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, I hear you. It's just
Okay.
that
Okay. Is there any delay? If there's no delay, I can move
if you're
on.
not getting the echo on your end, just go ahead and proceed.
Okay, great. All right.
If
So
you
as I
can
was
talk without the distraction.
yeah. Okay, as I was explaining with the Youth Haven Public Village, there is an intentionality which is very different from what you typically find in group homes, and that there are different models that I have incorporated into the not only into the study but into the implementation as soon as there's land. And this is based upon my experience working at Job Corps, in which I was one of the trainers to train about to to um to train up other Job Corps residential staff members into what's called a normative
Hello?
culture. And the normative culture, what I did there was to modify it based upon my
Hello?
graduate school studies.
Hello? Mr. Hughes? Yeah, hold on a second. Hey, doctor.
Yes.
I don't think it's gonna work. Too much echo. I think we're gonna have to get together on our own time.
That's fine. I don't hear any echoes, just so that you know. There's no echo on my part.
Figure this out. Too right now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
No. I have to. Let's try it another time. I got a phone call, and it's. We have to get together and collaborate and try to get to the.
Okay, whatever you like to do, just fine.